global representation. I guess all regions, and you can see concentration in Europe. We got some of the Americas, we got Asia. So yeah, just lovely to see this map expand. And I'm sure ERC is happy for that as well. So yeah, let's go right into the highlights. Let me see if I click next. Oh, yeah, there we go. So here we have ERD2020, if I said it right, my Scottish pronunciation. Yeah. And yeah, so this one was restoring the natural processes, they're increasing habitat diversity, they're addressing patterns of contemporary transhumance, grazing and hunting and tree planting, and they will have an education center as well. So balancing the ecological and the social. And then we have the green in Ireland. So this is a tiny forest, and they're transforming a degraded site into a healthy ecosystem. And they're also addressing the ecological, the social, the education, the cultural, and the economic. They'll have a recreation site, which will also facilitate micro businesses. They really want to engage with schools. Yeah, and so that's near Dublin in Ireland. And then we have Hastings-on-Hudson, just outside of New York City, where they're going to transform an industrial site into a wildlife conservation park. They had a huge site and they decided to focus on 14 acres, where they're going to increase biodiversity, address climate resilience, work on landscape connectivity, and a lot of it was focused around community access to the river. So just outside of a giant city, bringing people together for recreational activities as well. And another big city in Amsterdam, creating a greener neighborhood where all the resources are valued. So Valmud, the project lead here, lives there and just really wanted to bring people in the neighborhood who come from diverse backgrounds together and create a space where the community can be enhanced through greenery. And then I'll pass over to, I think this is Inge.
Yes, thank you, Abby. So kind of the same as what Abby just said, we have short time to talk about your project. I wish I could talk about them much longer. But yeah, let me start with this project here, which is Wootton Fields Tiny Forest. There's a few tiny forests coming up. This one is in Wootton Fields in Northampton, UK. Project by Helen, Milan, and Eloise and Ekaterina. So Helen lives here and she has a lot of local connections, which is obviously really helpful. And they want to create a tiny forest on the site to restore the local environment and create a habitat for wildlife and enhance the biodiversity. And so this is basically kind of phase one, because there's quite a sizable land available. And I should add, there's also three schools that they will engage with. And then beyond the tiny forest, they also want to use the land to create a community garden. And they also have a focus on kind of floods mitigation and making sure there is no, like the extreme rainfall, maybe kind of mitigate it. And yeah, it will be collaboration with the local community and the schools as well. So much luck to Wootton Fields Tiny Forest. And here's the tiny forest in Amsterdam, which is planned to be created in the north of Amsterdam in a place called Vogelplein, which is a bird square, I suppose, in English. So this is the Vogelbos, the bird forest. And this will be initially created with the local community as well, with the local residents wanting to create a place to experience nature in the neighborhood and get people to meet outside, get children engaged, learning about trees and mushrooms as well. This is like a really kind of unique aspect about this tiny forest, is to create to add in fungi and learning about fungi. Yeah, and I guess there's potentially kind of heat waves around here as well, and that can be mitigated with the forest, and it will help kind of deal with the rainfall as well, and hopefully create a corridor for the wildlife that lives nearby. And the exciting thing is that they looks like it's already kind of funded with the help of IVN, with Dan and the municipality as well. So fingers crossed. And you can follow them on social media. And here's the other forest. This is also a tiny forest project, and this one is in Lebanon. So Adib has already been creating a number of tiny forests in Lebanon, and currently is working one that's called the Riverless Forest, using the Miyawaki method as well. Quite a different climate here, can be extremely extreme heat and drought can happen here, heavy rain, fire hazards. So it's quite different in that way. Also, the way they have to deal with water is different. So one aspect of their project is to see how they can use less water to create a tiny forest. And kind of the grand plan is to also do research on kind of the impact of the forest on air pollution and CO2 sequestration, and to plant in many, many more cities, and eventually even create a kind of a green corridor between the mountains and to the Beirut River. And the team really wanted to look here into business models and hopefully create locally their forests as well. I think Joe is going to do that too. Yeah, then we can continue to Pachaland. So this is a project in Belgium with a different intention. They mostly want to clean up the water flows from a nearby farm that's creating kind of nitrate pollution. And they want to do that by creating swales and kind of managing the water flows and planting various crops that will fix nitrogen. And they also want to create an ecosystem restoration camp, which will mean like the whole site will have a lot of other aspects like a vegetable garden and lodging, and it will welcome volunteers and hopefully kind of duplicate this plan to other sites as well. And then here's Stingray Bay, which is in Florida and USA. And this is a regenerative model for living on land and sea. They want to kind of create a bridge between the consumer suburban culture to their local bioregion. And the kind of problems that they're having here are invasive Brazilian peppers and toxic stormwater runoff and illegally cut mangroves. And this is also a very comprehensive plan with a syntropic food forest, a mangrove nursery, an oyster bed, and much more. And they want to create kind of a housing complex so volunteers can come and work there and potentially live there as well. Yeah, many, many aspects. And the bigger plan for phase 2 and 3 would even be to purchase more land and create an eco-village and so on. And so I did hear from Anthony that the land at this moment is no longer available. I don't know exactly why, but hopefully they can just kind of use some of the plans they created for other locations. Yeah, that was me. I don't know who's next. Arno Creek.
Is Ezio on the call?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, go. Hey, Ezio.
Great.
Take it away.
Thanks. So this is Arno Creek Restoration Project in northwest Italy, and Gallerate. And the Arno Creek runs through the middle of the town. It once was a very flourishing stream until the clothing industry got in there and started polluting with the textile waste streams and everything. That's all come to a halt as the textile industry is shipped to China, but the stream remains eroded, polluted. So here's an opportunity to restore the running water in the stream, integrate the SUDS, the Sustainable Urban Drainage System, within the flow of the creek, and also with a riverside walk. And there are a couple of little urban spots that one can put a tiny forest in, and next to the school. So in other words, revitalize this green lung as part of green infrastructure through the middle of this town, and restore some of the historical cultural landscape. And as one starts piloting this through the middle of the town, one can imagine what downstream impact it could have. And also eventually upstream, you start sorting that out as well. But you have to start somewhere, so why not the middle of the town? So a great thanks to this very good team. The next one, Casa Colombia. In Colombia, there you can see Steve, very active on the ground there, leading the charge. And they've come up with a very great design on a very steep, very steep slope with lots of rainfall. And the idea there is to start restoring the creek, lifting up the rainwater table, putting some swales in, and then putting a food forest in, and integrating it with a reconnection to nature through this, what this B&B and restaurant is doing. So well done, Steve and team there. The next one, we have greening a community land. This is in a very dry, semi-arid area in Alicante, in Spain, on the Mediterranean, and pretty much evenly sloped land. The idea here is to create a bit of a retreat on this land where you can host all sorts of workshops and also rehabilitate the land around there. So in other words, provide a food garden, rainproof, drought-proof, and flood-proof the terrain. So well done to this team. They did this remotely, so they did a very good effort through someone else's viewpoint on the site. But that's the greening a community land. And then where land meets water, this is a very interesting project along the Rhine, where the Rhine River has been canalized to some extent. So a lot of the landscape around there has been compacted in the floodplain. But here are some pockets of land. There's a community able and willing to restore a part of it. And when they looked at their neighbors, they realized these are institutions. Why are they holding onto this land? So the idea was to eventually, through this project, go knock on their doors and say, don't you want to do the ethical thing to restore this landscape alongside the river? And who knows, maybe in 10, 20, 30 years time, they might be able to recreate the original meander in the river that used to flood seasonally and also bring about great fertility in the fields. So this is the where land meets water. The slide that I haven't put up yet is an individual project, Quenching the Dragon by Taylor Bright. That's also a pretty awesome project in California that has been ravaged by fires. But there's a very good rainwater harvesting plan that supports the groundwork for a resilient, intentional community at Quenching the Dragon site. Thanks to all of you students who participated in this. I really enjoyed interacting with all of you. Thank you.
I guess these are science groups.
That could be. Yeah, is it Ben? It's not yours, then it must be Sion's.
Nope. Yep, Sion's.
Yeah. Okay.
Did he record anything, or should we just go show the slides?
He didn't send anything to me. Anyone from this group want to say 1 minute? And if not, we're so sorry. Sion's in Australia, as we know, so can't make the time. Well, we celebrate this group anyway. And we'll keep going. Anyone from Khalifa here want to tell us more? Okay. Sorry, we celebrate you. Alp here. Rosanna, Faisal, Dennis, anyone here? Okay, sorry. We don't
You
need.
can read out this one at least, maybe.
Yeah.
Envisioning a world where humanity associates the main source of its basic needs, both physical, food, fodder, fuel, medicine, building materials, fibers, materials, dyes and glues, and emotional, meaning, joy, relationship, participation, personal growth, and contribution, with the aim to regenerate inner and outer landscapes.
Thanks.
So, congratulations.
And dry land.
Obviously, maybe
people-
here.
Yeah, you can log in and see more in-depth stuff for any of these. So this is just a highlight reel. Thanks, team Camp Dryland. to see you, Ben. Ben looks frozen.
Uh-oh, connection problems.
Any of the team members want to chime in? Or even a peer reviewer want to chime in? Oh, if Ben comes back with...
Oh, Ben just messaged us that his computer died. So that was,
Oh, no.
we can get back to these later maybe as well, so he can
Yeah.
talk through them. But yeah, or if any one of these groups wants to say a few words.
Yeah, I'll click through. We'll definitely give Ben another chance if he can log back in. But if anyone from any of these groups is here.
That's us. That's me.
Yeah, go for it, Jan.
Yes, we would like to create a wonderful kind of outdoor adventure camp that works with the hot air balloon. This is a property owned by a hot air balloon pilot, a wonderful lady who's been all around the world, flown hot air balloons from the North Pole to all around Africa. And so, yeah, we just like to give the land an opportunity to be an event center and an education center. And while the balloons are being launched on that lawn, you know, we'll have glamping sites and classroom space and nature trails. And we've also included a tiny forest in the plans.
Thanks, Jan. Paolo, are you here?
Hi, I'm back as well. Sorry, my computer
Yeah.
crashed.
Jan was here. She covered hers, but I'll go back and just see if you wanted to. I think you were about here.
Can Soleil, yes, thank you. All right, sorry about that, everyone.
No worries.
So yeah, this is an awesome project in Ajat, France. It's a south-facing site, and Taro and Claudia live here, and are turning it into a polyculture farm and also a wellness retreat. And the team has been researching ways to slow down the water on the land, and different things to plant. And I've designed these beautiful maps. And currently the project is planting, or has planted, truffle inoculated hornbeam and oaks, because truffles grow naturally in the soil there. So yeah, very much looking forward to following this project. And here we have ERC the Gambia, which is a project led by Maurice. Gambia is on the west coast of Africa. For those of you who do not know, it's a small country, and the site is at a former sand mine. So some serious restoration to be done on the coastal area here, and also the plan to integrate some agroforestry and farming. And it's also a popular area for migratory birds. So it will be a site where you can go to bird watch, and also part of the Sandele Foundation there. So eco retreats and that kind of thing as well. So, and they're also starting to tree nurseries to propagate out native plants and trees. So awesome stuff.
I don't want to skip over this one, Ben, but Jan did already give her.
Okay, great. Thanks, Jan.
Yeah.
And here we have Paolo's project in Belgium. It's a tiny forest in his backyard. So great to see the tiny forest movement also getting sort of into the private areas, people's backyards. and Paulo's doing great work to plant out native species as well in his backyard, and is getting involved with the local community as well, and family, and making it a community project. So, yeah. And here we have Jane's project. She was took the lead on it. An incredible sort of another pilot project for what can be done in heavily eroded, overgrazed land in West Pokot, Kenya. And there, the model that the team has developed is surrounded by rotational grazing with a slight twist. It's surrounded by a boma, which is a stationary place for the cattle to overnight away from the paddocks. And the boma is also the center of community life. So it's designed to sort of integrate well into Kenyan culture in this particular region. And they are also have a agroforestry site planned, a vetiver grass nursery and tree nursery. And it's also surrounded by a community with a school and who also take part in the project. So, yep. Thank you.
Cool. I think that's it. Big celebration to everyone.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so should we propose a toast? Congratulations to everybody who made it through. Actually, real quick, since Marianne was actually a project that I was supposed to look after, she was an exception. She worked with her family, who happened to be a lot of professional architects and designers. I will quickly share my screen in order to show that project, if I can do that. Anybody see real quick? I'm sure a lot of you had a chance to look over. Marianne's was one of the first that was submitted for reviews by the students, but the maps really shone through, and you could see how much planning and research went into this. And the fact that they're professional designers is abundantly clear as well, not only in the maps that they made for the restoration of their plan for the site, but also in the business plan, and the structures of the restoration steps are really clearly indicated here in the graphs and communicated through color coding and all these other things that I wish that I knew how to do better. I really recommend that anybody who wants to aspire to make clear maps and communicate these concepts in multimedia ways, check this out as reference. It's very inspiring. So great job, Marianne, and your team in the Philippines. I believe that does it for projects now. So should we propose a toast for everyone who completed this project, and to the incredible facilitators who guided us through the process? Thank you so much for your contributions, for your creativity, and for your enthusiasm in this process. Round of applause for everybody.
Salud.
Salud.
Woo! Chin chin.
Awesome.
Best of luck to everyone.
Congratulations, everyone.
Congratulations. And thank you.
all.
Thank you very
Thanks to
much.
all the leaders.
All right, and so with the remaining time that we have, I would love to open it up to all of you to start to explain to others or share some of your experience from the course, anything that was your biggest takeaways from this learning adventure. If you had any learning experiences or inspirations that you would like to share with the rest of the group, now would be a good time to do that. Does anyone want to go first? Now everybody's shy. Go ahead, Bart.
No, it's great to see all these fantastic projects together on such a short time, and it's amazing that you can bring together from all over the world on actually a relative short period such an amazing life-changing project. And if we all are courageous enough and persevere, it will have an effect on literally thousands of people around us, and we, each individual of us, should be proud we've done it. It takes a lot of time and in between our work, and it's the main thing is listening to each other and respect for each other and respect for timing. And it's an enormous effort. It's great, and to be lovely to continue with that and be in touch with each project. Yeah, it's and well done to you, Oliver, and to all the facilitators to enable us to. It's been a fantastic road. Thank you.
Go ahead, if anyone wants to share their takeaways, learning experiences, or inspirations from the course. Go ahead, Keith.
Yeah, I would. Looking back now over the whole course, I want to just give my appreciation for the overall structure of the 5 modules. I believe that it was really a path that we could follow very well. I think especially the placement of the 4th module about business plans at the end was really the right place. In our project, the business plan aspect of it came to the foreground because there were so many stakeholders that need to be addressed, and we need to, for the project to go forward, we need to have the right way of addressing and attracting all of those people, and we were constantly drawing from what we learned in module 4. So thank you all for the overall architecture of the whole course. Thanks.
I think I'd just like to say thank you to everyone for, I mean, the content's been extraordinary right the way through. I think probably one of my biggest takeaways is the community that I've met through this course. It's like so inspiring and so hopeful. It's kind of given me an element of relief from that sort of like eco-anxiety that I feel. I'm like, gosh, thank goodness there's so many people out there that want to make a difference. So that's been extraordinary. Through some of the written reflections, I connected more personally with some of the teams, some of the individuals. And I think maybe, I certainly hope that it's the beginning of some lifelong friendships. And I've just been really inspired to see all of the different projects that everybody's created. And certainly the team that I ended up working with for my final project has really motivated me to make it happen locally. So I'm just very grateful for this experience.
I see Eric raised his hand. Go ahead, Eric.
Hey guys, it's a pleasure to virtually meet all of you. I just want to say that I'm just really thankful. I had been trying to do regeneration work for a while and did the whole permaculture internship and got the experience, but I had never found a group of individuals. So like everybody here, special thanks to all the facilitators. Ben has been amazing. You know, I don't really know him, but I consider him a friend. Oliver, everybody, even Ashley Brown, everybody's been very, very helpful. Zion was super helpful. We even had Zoom calls. You guys are really invested in giving people an abundance of resources to really get things going, which is it's amazing, especially if you find yourself with projects but not really knowing how to empower yourself, or the people that want to get them going. And the team that we randomly ended up together, I consider them amazing people and good friends. I've seen some great projects. So thank you guys. Thank you to all my classmates. You guys are great and amazing teachers.
Can I add something there also? When we were looking for all the practitioners, you know, we wanted to have diversity. And one of my takeaways is like the incredible diversity of participants. Obviously, you all have a common thread of a passion and curiosity for this, but I was so inspired by all the different fields and walks of life that you come from and the transferable skills, you know, like the people I connected with, Andy, I see you there from IT, and then Ducha from hotel management, like such diverse things that you can completely apply to this field. And I think that's a lot of what ERC is trying to do, is show that like anyone can do it, you know, any skill that you have can be applied in this. And so just reading all of your reflections from module 1 to 5 is like how much you've grown because of those skills that you can bring in. So that's my takeaway, that you just need the passion and then a little bit, as Eric said, you know, the empowerment, and it flourishes. So I really celebrate all of you. Thank you.
Yeah, I wanted to add as well, I wanted to celebrate Ashley as well, because maybe not all of you know her. Some of you may have, you know, seen her on some of the Q&As and so on, but she's been so working so hard for ERC for so many years and putting her all into it. She's so passionate, and she's made a lot of this possible for us, working on this course for a full year. So yeah, thank you so much, Ashley, for everything you do.
Thank you, Inga. I'm very tired, but I'm also feeling very emotional. I probably would be less teary if I wasn't so tired, but just seeing all of these, this is the first time that I've seen the presentations, and I know that I haven't seen them in full, and I'm really excited to see them in full, but even just seeing the summary, oh, it makes me so happy to see the results of putting this course together and how much you've all gotten out of it and how diverse, detailed and well thought out the projects are. And I just, yeah, I really hope that they happen and that you feel ready to make them happen, and anything that I can do to help you further, please feel free to reach out. Really happy.
I'd like to add something, actually. I agree with everything everyone else have said, but in terms of learning experience, I admit that having taken the other Gaia education course before, I expected the format to be the same. And I was very surprised at the beginning that it was all done by video. I am not a person who normally likes watching videos, and everybody's always telling me, you know, just watch YouTube and you learn how to do this and that. And I always read the transcript. So I really struggled in module 1. It took me forever. But then I actually learned how to learn watching videos. And now I really enjoy it. And by module 5, it was very easy. I went through very quickly. So besides all the ecological part, of course, I actually gained a new skill in my learning experience. So I know that wasn't intended, but I still want to thank you for that.
Hi, everyone. I also want to thank you all for being a great team. And I want to thank Ashley and the Ecosystem Restoration Camps for the work they did to put together this course in Gaia Education, and also offer scholarships to students like from Africa and other places where people are not able to like afford that kind of money to pay for such courses. And Ashley, thank you so much for the offer of the scholarship and endearing more people to come into the course. And it's going to really bear a lot of fruits, because a lot of people in communities do not know how to restore degraded landscapes. And this course empowers actually people who join to understand a lot of things they can do with the little means they have to restore degraded landscapes. And that's what Ecosystem Restoration Camp stands for. And I'm so grateful for that, Ashley, for putting this course as an ecosystem restoration camp's priority thing to do. So I'm so delighted to see even the other students who are going to join in and what they are going to do thereafter, because for me, it has motivated me to really start looking at how to restore already degraded landscapes and using and empowering communities to learn what I have learned and do it with them step by step to understand as we do it together as a team. So I'm so grateful to all of you. And I'm glad also I had a great team to work with, Bart and Eric and Nadia. And Ben, our facilitator, was so amazing. Thank you so much, team. And Oliver, I am so glad. I'm sure we still have a lot of things to do together, and I still follow you and learn from you a lot. Thanks for everything.
I would like to join with everyone and thank every one of you, the colleagues and teachers, facilitators, one for bumping into my life. Thank you so much, because I always thought it would be really hard, but once you guided me, I can run. And it's really nice to see that you always think you're the only one, and then you start seeing more and more people joining in. I'm very always emotional, so especially now that I'm happy.
Me too.
So I really thank Gaia Education and Ecosystem Restoration Camps. I look forward to continue somehow in touch with both. And I've already recommended, so I hope some of my friends will be joining soon. And I would love to continue. I know we're many from all around the world, and that is amazing. That is also incredible. You think you're struggling on your own, and then you start seeing that everybody is pushing towards the same place, and it's a lot easier when we're together. And it's not impossible. So it's very nice to be part of a lovely how do you say, quest, the dream. No, so thank you very much, and my team, I love you.
No, you
I
love
want to thank. I want to thank all of you, teachers, my co-students, my team, Oliver. This was a wonderful experience for me, and I want to say that you've given me new glasses to look through. You know, here I am in my 60s, and I've been, you know, looking at things the same way for a very long time, and now everywhere I go, I see ecosystems that I need to restore. I see degraded landscapes that I need to fix. I drove across the country, the US, this summer, 1,500 miles of cornfields. And all I could think of is, we got to do permaculture in Iowa, Kansas, Nebraska. This is terrible. We've got to change the entire, you know, grain belt of the United States. So in a way, it's like, it's painful now to look around and see all the things we need to change, but it is so enlightening. And thank you for being so inclusive, making us feel, you know, even if we had no background in biology or ecology, or, you know, and we're all different ages and all different backgrounds, so that you made us all feel so welcome. So thank you for that. I feel, you know, I'm gonna miss you all. And I want to come to an ecosystem restoration camp so I can experience it as soon as COVID's over. Maybe we can join there.
Well, I like the bridge, Meg. Got so motivated by Abby and all my teammates and everything, and also the whole movement, that I jumped into a car, accepted the invitation, went to Portugal, and we've been digging gabions today. So swells and showing people and sharing pictures, and 100 pictures today. Really, it's so motivating, and it feels so good to even to tell somebody, look at this caterpillar. It's digging into the ground and making air so the water goes in and not just flush down the mountain. So I really feel also all that good energy, and we're making so many cool things happen. Thank you so much, everybody.
Well, look, so it's fantastic to hear all of this outpouring of gratitude and emotion, and it's been such a pleasure to have all of you here with the last 15 minutes of this call. I really want to invite people to talk about the next steps after this course. If you have any projects planned, if you're planning on implementing the design that you've put together with your group through this project, now would be a great time to invite other people to get involved physically and take part in the next steps of taking action on all of what you've learned throughout this course. So if anybody wants to send out invitations or calls to action to get started working on the land, go ahead and you can either shout those out now, or you can put them in the chat. You can share contact information. Just make sure that everybody has a way of getting a hold of you so that we can keep this community strong and really build on these connections that we've created through the course. I want to make sure that everybody knows how to get involved and how to contact one another before we leave.
Oliver and everyone, my yearning for continuity is really, that's what I'm experiencing, is if there's kind of one, I'm thinking of this kind of like at one level I'm thinking of, I just want everyone to be, hoisting a flag up at every location, like as if we could see it, the way we see the globe here on the, the globe with all the flags. But I don't, the more there could be a central directory or a common location where we can find each other, I think that's, I really would like to be able to, I kind of have a sense of where I can stay in touch based on where I am geographically and where I travel frequently. And yet there's always surprises. If we land in Spain or land in Turkey or Kenya, like how do we find each other?
Well, Jan, I just suggested in the chat, I know that someone started a Slack channel and there's the Facebook group. So some people might feel like maybe those are enough, but there's another website or software called Mighty Networks that was designed specifically for communities to stay in touch with each other and collaborate. And it's really user-friendly and easy, and I really rate it. I think it's really good. So if there is an interest, and it sounds like there is, I'd be really happy to start the process of setting that up and inviting everyone. I know that Saskia from Gaia Education has everyone's email addresses, so I could ask her to email an invite link, and maybe in your own time you can go and check out Mighty Networks, and there's a little kind of tutorial video for how it works. Yeah, I would be happy to do that, because I do think it's a really great way that you can all stay in touch with each other and continue to work together. And then maybe we can just continue adding these students from the next iterations of the course until there's thousands of people in there.
Thanks, Ashley. I would be very grateful.
Okay, I will do it.
Yeah, I'm just seeing if I can discover, I haven't really in this whole since May, the relationship between Gaia and Ecosystem Restoration Camp. It seems like we were on a Gaia platform and we were in an Eco Restoration Camp course, so it was intriguing. It's really intriguing. And, but yeah, to be, to feel that there's a central place where we can meet up. I'll take a look at Mighty Networks and see what that's about. Yeah. Thank you.
Well, back to Oliver's question. I'm looking forward to continue following up and helping Helen with the tiny forest. So we have programmed already some continue our conversation, and as the council will advance and the schools will get involved. So in that sense, I am not leaving you, Helen. I will be bothering you a little bit longer, and look forward also to be able to go forward with the proposal and really start gaining more practice in the theory learned by the course, which I think is extremely important. No, I'm in a flow of, I want to learn more, I want to subscribe myself in something else, I want to continue, but I also think it's important to pause and digest and be with my family and share with them all what I've learned, because this is really beautiful. And next year I will start with tons of energy with new things, and looking forward to know a lot of other projects that I already set my eye on. I also will take Oliver's proposal to ask him on advice, and then I hope to meet Inga, who's in the UK, as soon as we can. And so it's lovely because the networking we gained is opening many doors. I remember in a Q&A for the next year for ecosystem restoration camps, someone asked in the chat if there were already job proposals results. And I think that we also need to change a little bit that concept of job. So it's, yes, there are proposals of helping out and getting busy and getting our hands in the soil and work and start planting. So as a reply, I think yes, the results are yes, definitely there. We are connecting and we are working. So I look forward to continue and grow on this path.
Just a thought, is there a possibility that as we progress to do some of these projects out there, that it can be used as a motivation to the incoming students, and also to market the course on the internet or something like that?
I think if there are people here who would be happy to share their presentations, or at least, you know, part of them with the ERC and Gaia Education, then we could certainly share them to get more people interested in taking the course. That would be amazing. So yeah, if you are interested in sharing what you have done for your final presentation with the public, then we can do that. That would be fantastic. I am reachable via Slack, and also you could reach out to Oliver or Ben or anyone of the facilitators, and they can get in touch that way as well.
Okay, I'm talking about besides the slides of the presentations we have, I mean, actual progress, like, for example, actual progress, like somebody does the project physically on the ground and would love to share with you guys so that you can show the results of what transpired from this course. I mean, would that be something that you would want to have in future?
Yes, definitely. I would be so delighted to see of any progress, and I'm sure the rest of the ERC and Gaia Education teams would be as well.
I think there was also a mention at one point of, like, you know, a 6-month check-in, which is no official commitment from Gaia or ERC, but an unofficial commitment from the facilitators that, you know, we have your contact details and we can just see where everyone is in 6 months. And, you know, the next round of the course is due to start in January. So maybe you can also come as alum of this round to the next round's presentations. But yeah, I guess we can find a way to coordinate that. It's just nice to hear from everyone again in a few months. You can try that.
All right, well, look, everybody, I'm going to have to log off on the hour. We can keep this call going. The facilitators will keep it going. At least I know Inga will. And for all the work that I do, actually have to go and start making dinner because my girlfriend's going to be home soon and she is expecting that. So priorities. But it was really wonderful to see everybody here. I really hope that we all get to keep in touch, and to expand on what we were talking about finding other projects to get involved in. It's one of the things that I do a lot with clients in the community that I manage with the podcast online, is helping people to find active ways of contributing to their community and their ecologies wherever they are. Milena's already reached out to me for advice on how she can take the next steps after here, and I'm very happy to talk with any of you who might be interested in getting involved on the ground in the communities where you are. If I don't have direct contacts already, I can give you at least some advice on how to go about finding them, because although you might not see these types of projects advertised or promoted in the mainstream media, it isn't to say that they aren't there. There are lots of people all around the world working to make this happen, even outside of the networks that the people in this course have. And I really encourage you to find a way of contributing on the ground right where you live. You don't have to go across the world, especially since it's probably not possible for most of you at the moment. And yeah, it's growing this from exactly where you are, with exactly the resources that you have now, without having to wait to get more money or to build more skills. I promise all of you have what you need to get started, and I would challenge you to find a way to apply it in the best way possible exactly where you are. So with that, I got to sign off, and I really hope to stay in touch and to hear from all of you soon. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Oliver.
Thanks, Oliver.
Bye.
Buku gali for your girlfriend.
Buen
Well.
provecho.
So yeah, we've had an hour now, but I don't know if you all want to chat some more and share ideas. We can definitely do that. And if you've got to run as well, then that's fine.
I will have to sign off, so I will say thanks once again, and look forward to checking in 6 months. Thanks.
Thanks, Keith.
Me too. Thank you, Keith.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks very
Bye,
much.
Emo.
Bye-bye.
See you.
Wow, it was a wonderful school time.
School time, yeah. Definitely.
Inge, I hope we'll be in touch. It
Yeah.
was wonderful. Yeah, touching
Would be
base
great.
and planning these camps, and they will sprout from this community. You see here many of them, and it will be a big lift to our spirit that we managed to do something to help the earth regrow back.
Yeah, it's been really inspiring, and I just put in the chat as well. I may as well share with you, but I'm doing my master's studies in ethnobotany, and I'm looking looking at a new research project because I have to stay closer to home. But if anyone feels like they have a research idea for their project which is related to ethnobotany, so like uses of plants for food or medicine, or seed banks and how to use them, so anything on people and plants, then you can email me and maybe we can collaborate.
That's great.
Unfortunately, you're too far, Jane.
No, I can collaborate on email. It's all right. And coming to UK is not a hassle if there's no coronavirus.
Yeah, we can collaborate online as well.
We were going to camp at what's his name? At the camp in France for Ecosystem Restoration Camps Foundation board members. We were going to that project, so it's not hard to get together one time or another.
That's true. That's
Especially
totally
the
true.
world is just a small place when you have intentions.
Exactly. We can definitely do that.
Yeah, and Abby, is there possibilities that people can get through Gaia Education more scholarships for courses related to this kind of thing?
Yep, so the next round of this course, there are several scholarships available. I don't know on behalf of Gaia's other courses, as it's been identified, ERC and Gaia are just collaborating, but there's definitely scholarships available for the course which starts in January. don't know how many, but I think
No,
there's
no,
also-
I'm not saying this particular, I'm saying other courses. I mean that we have already taken this one, but maybe a different course that
Oh,
will
then
come
you'd
up
have
that.
to ask Sylvia. Yeah, I'm not sure how Gaia's doing that.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, but I think so. I mean, as you say, it makes a lot of sense. So I hope they would, but I don't know officially.
Okay.
Abby, I just want to know, we have access to the platform till the end of the month, but do the facilitator reply? Will they be checking it? If we want, if I want to send you a message, for example, or any other of the facilitators.
Well, I can just speak for myself and Ben and Inga who are still here. Well, I think Ezio and Sion also said, yeah, we're not required to, but we're so committed to, we will definitely still be signing into the platform. If you haven't done all your assignments and you're going to submit something late, please let us know, because it's just technical that we have to go through all the assignments to see if there's anything new. So in terms of communication, you can definitely reach out to us on the platform until the end of December, get our email, and then indefinitely. And in terms of work submissions to get your certificate, please just let the facilitator know. If you can't figure out which one is your facilitator for that particular assignment, just pick one, because we're communicating. But yeah, we'll still be available on the platform until the end of December.
So we are
Okay,
getting the
thank you.
certificates just like the way we have been getting the what do they call them, the letters of accomplishment. We are getting them in the platform. Before
Yeah,
we are
but the
locked down.
certificate is on the side, no? The certificate is different than the letters.
There's a module completion, and then there's a full course certificate, and that stuff has to go through Sylvia. She's the learning coordinator of Gaia.
Okay, yeah, but are we getting them on the platform as well before you close us out?
I honestly don't know.
I don't think so.
The letters of accomplishment are the ones we get from the platform.
The course certificate, I believe Sylvia will email.
Yes,
or
she
something.
will email them.
Email. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Wow.
So if someone wants to take the course again, or you would go to Sylvia, you'd go to Gaia?
Yes.
Could you say what's the different role between Sylvia and, is it Saskia? We sometimes get email from, so we know who to contact depending.
To be honest, I'm not entirely sure either, but her title is the e-learning coordinator. So she is also new. She joined that role like after we started the course. So she's been doing a lot of catch up, but she's doing quality control, coordinating with the rest of the Gaia team on the IT issues. She's our facilitator, she's our boss. And Saskia, I understand her title is people care. So she's doing more administrations and yeah, kind of just a little bit below. But Sylvia is like the main go-to for course stuff. Inga, do you have anything to add to that? Did I get that right?
I think you got that right. Yeah, that's kind of how I understand it as well.
Yeah, and then also to clarify, Ashley is ERC's main go-to. So in terms of the content, all the relationships with the practitioners that did the presentations, Ashley curated that. And then they collaborated with Gaia, as was already mentioned, for the platform. So, yeah.
I guess
Is there
Ashley's
a
right.
physical location, a geographic location for Gaia or for Ashley, or?
No, so ERC is legally based in the Netherlands. Ashley lives in the UK. And Gaia legally is based in the UK. Sylvia lives in Vancouver. We're all dispersed.
It's all online in different countries, so making it work that way, it's quite interesting. I actually worked with Ashley for probably a year before I met her in person. Yeah, kind of just like with every one of you. It feels like I know you, but we haven't actually met in person, except for Abby.
I remember a few years ago, because I grew up in Baltimore, that there was a place north of Baltimore. There was a community, and they had a strong connection with Gaia University. That
So there's Gaia University, there's Gaia Education, there's eco universities. There's all of these that, you know, Gaia is such a beautiful word to inspire an organization and a movement.
Yeah.
And then there's also Gaia School is actually a school for young people based in Estonia, which applies the eco-village principles. So there's all different branches of all of this, and sometimes they overlap. But Gaia Education that this course is through is a remote learning platform, basically.
Yeah, but they also have developed the curriculum for the Eco-Village Design Education, which is a face-to-face course, which I can highly recommend. You can do it at eco-villages all over the world.
Oh.
They will create the curriculum in the eco-village, but it's based on the program from Gaia.
Okay.
And is there a website you go to check out where these villages are?
This is on the Gaia Education website, and then you can see, yeah, the EDE for short, this course, and it will show you all the eco-villages or like which ones are happening next. Of course, I don't know about this time, but I do think the one in Switzerland is just happening supposedly in January. Yeah, although I think most of the main eco-villages offer it, and it's for me, it was really transformational as well. It's all really about regeneration, but not on the ecological, also on the social, the cultural, economical. So you have the 4 themes.
Right.
Yeah, very beautiful experience.
Ing, do you recommend that we do the modules from Gaia Education before the Eco-Village Eco-Village program? Because the Gaia modules we can do online, and Eco-Village requires a month away from work and everything else. So I was thinking.
Yeah, I feel you don't need to do both of them for any reason. The one is just online and I guess more kind of theoretical, whereas, well, theoretical and a bit practical if you apply certain things to your life. But when you're in an eco-village, you get to see, you know, firsthand what kind of natural building techniques have been used, and you live in a community, in a group every day, maybe cooking together and doing kind of interactive exercises. So it's really, you know, just a different type of experience.
Immersive, yes.
Immersive, but yeah, the online course has a lot of knowledge to offer as well. Just, yeah, different things.
Thank you.
But it's a different, is there a relationship between ecosystem restoration camps and eco-village? What is it called, eco-village?
Yeah, so I'll speak to that. I also work for the Global Eco-Village Network. So that's a network organization of eco-villages around the world. And John Liu, who is one of the founders of Ecosystem Restoration Camps, speaks very well of this. And I don't know if it's his opinion or ERC's official stance, but that the camps are mostly focused on the ecological stuff, obviously, and they're hands-on, and they're somewhat temporary for people, you know, like it's a training place, it's a hands-on, maybe it turns into an eco-village, but the idea is this is practical learning experience camp. And then his proposal is those are training centers for people to then be inspired to create an eco-village, which is generally a more long-term, where they bring in the social, the economic, and the cultural, and they bring all of that together. Some people, it's a much more accessible entry point to use your hands and connect to the land, and some people are more entry into community and decision making and governance, and so we need all of it, you know, whatever approach. They're partners where they collaborate, but they're just different in that slower, more community focused, also ecologically motivated is eco-villages, and then the camps are training practical ecological skills.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if anyone wants recommendations of eco-villages, I'd be happy to share that too. Yeah.
Eric, did you have
So
a question?
like if we get our project going, we can turn it into an eco-village and as well as ecosystem restoration camp?
Yeah, eco-villages are self-defined. So it's free to make your project profile on the eco-village database. engage with any eco-village learning. You know, once you've got that ecological stuff and the infrastructure and the team, you can build more principles into it. But yeah, you could certainly list your project as an eco-village, an aspiring eco-village, you know, all different sizes and different locations. You can find an actual established eco-village near to you, which you may be addressing similar social or climatic issues. So yeah.
And in transition town is another, you know, it's like
yeah, they're all movements, they're all related, they're all complementary.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I think Duccia, you put something in there. Do you want to just elaborate a bit on transition towns?
Yeah, because we're here in Portugal and we're running an inventory. I'm here actually with Mark Dakins, who runs the Facebook page from ERC. I had a spot left over in the car, and he was a person that also had a network here in Portugal. And it seems that it's like, but you see, well, so Transition Towns, he just checked it out on Facebook and saw that it was started here in 2015 in Lagos. And that there's a revival actually at the moment happening here. I know in Holland also transition towns were quite active as well. And there were apparently a few years ago up to 1,000